Welcome back to the office. Okay, now I am one who hates to wait for a part two or a follow up on anything. So I am sorry that this has taken this long. My apologies to you. But yes, now if you're wondering why we are here for a follow up on my. They kicked me out of Red Lobster. So, all right. So, as you guys know, Red Lobster has come back. They're trying to make a comeback and really draw in their customers and consumers with what it is that's going on now, right? So crab boil is a big deal, and Red Lobster has seafood boils. And I've been seeing them online. You know, everybody's been doing their reviews on them. And I really was interested in giving my opinion on this seafood boil. Now, a lot of people, now there have been quite a bit mixed reviews. You have some people say it's good, some people say that it's bad, some people say that it's the best crab boil or seafood boil they've ever had. And me personally, I lost faith in Red Lobster many years ago. And coming into my video, I expressed that. And it's the truth. And I know I can only speak for myself, but just hearing people in the comments as far as my they kicked me out video goes, they also feel the same way that I do. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna go review the food for myself, and I am gonna be as brutally honest as I always am when I'm doing reviews for you guys, especially when it comes to food. And I was psyched. I was super psyched. We're gonna do this. So get myself together, we head over to Red Lobster. Now, in the parking lot, I'm telling y'all where we are. I'm telling y'all that, look, again, I lost faith in this. A lot of people calling this, saying this is so good, but I call cap. Because, again, like I said, I had lost faith in the food. The food just wasn't good anymore. Maybe many years ago it was good, but as of, recently, it really wasn't. And it was a real unfortunate situation because Red Lobster was a huge staple, back in the day. But anyway, so we get through the parking lot, we get ready to go inside. There's no cameras filming. We walk in, we speak to the hostess. I ask the hostess, table for two. She walks us to the back. She tries to sit us in a booth, kind of like in between two parties that are already there. And I tell her, I would rather sit over here in the corner if that's okay. She was like, sure, no problem, whatever. She sits me in the corner. And again, that is once I am seated, we get ourselves adjusted. The backdrop behind me is the wall and my booth. And my husband is sitting in front of me filming. Nothing around me you're able to see. You're not able to see anything outside of that table. And that is how that's how I meant for it to be, because I don't want to intrude on nobody's privacy. Fine. We're seated, and our server named Jody comes to the table. Jody, she's very charismatic. She's, very good attitude. Welcome. She's telling me about the new items on the menu. She's telling me that there's also, I don't know if it was the Crab Fest or some fest going on that week too, but there's many new items on the new menu, and I want to try them all. And she says, okay, well, let me take your drinks first. I order, I believe it was the new Snoop and Dre collab, and some water, whatever. We ordered the drinks. The bread was on point. The bread was hot. So I was like, okay, we going good. This is gonna be good. I taste the bread. The bread tastes exactly what I remember. Cheddar Bay biscuits were probably is and probably will continue to be my favorite part of Red Lobster. The biscuits have not lost it. Fine. I'm talking, to the camera about the menus, what we're gonna order. We're trying to decide all this good stuff, and all of a sudden, as I pause, waiting for Jody to come back to the table to take our order for our appetizers or whatever, another young lady that is not our waitress comes to the table and says, I'm sorry, you can't film here, you gotta go. So I'm like, I'm sorry? She was like, yes, you can't film, you gotta leave. So I'm At this point, I'm taken. I don't know how to feel about what she just said. I think I was more disturbed on the fact that she said that you gotta go versus you can't film here. If I can't film here, fine. Tell me, look, you can't film, but I'll be more than glad to take your order. Whatever it is, whatever. So I asked her and I said, can I speak to the manager? She says, okay. And she proceeds to go get the manager. Now, mind you, it's been some time that's been ticking since I've been waiting for Mr. Eddie Walton to come to the table. And during that process, I even had time to go to the front, speak to the hostess again, get his information, come back to the table, update y'all as to what was happening before Mr. Walton even approached the table. Now, Mr. Walton never approached the table face to face. He was probably 5 feet behind me and probably 3 feet outside of the kitchen. That's how far he was from where I was sitting. If I'm not mistaken, we were sitting at table 5. This happened at the Fort Myers location. So I believe it was table 5. Anyway, and yes, literally behind me, to where I had to lean up in my booth and look behind me to see who was talking to me. So now I'm really bothered because you didn't have the audacity to come to the table and say, look, I'm sorry, I'd rather you not film in here, but I would be more than glad to fix or bring out whatever it is that you would like to eat. This is what's going on. Give us like the little rundown what Jody did, whatever, just however it is, or you're taught to handle situations like this. None of that. Zero, nothing. The response was, you gotta leave, I'm busy. You gotta leave, I am busy. So at that point, again, and I do state in my video that this was the worst restaurant experience that I've ever had in my life. So for y'all selective hearing people that missed that I said restaurant experience, I've been reviewing food in restaurants for quite some time, and I have never had that type of interaction with anybody who is supposed to be the face of that establishment at any given time. Never, ever, ever. So that, yes, was my worst restaurant experience that I had based on what happened. Fine. I wrap it up. Muchos besitos. I'm telling y'all whatever. Peace, right? Fine. So that was, if I'm not mistaken, that was Saturday afternoon. Saturday afternoon. Maybe 1:30-ish, maybe. Okay, so I decided to leave a review on Google. So I go on there, I leave a quite lengthy review on Google. I'm talking about my waitress. Now, somebody's gonna ask me, well, how did you figure it was Jody? Now, I'm gonna tell you, I feel like it was Jody because, for one, she couldn't face us anymore after that interaction. So after she took our drink order, she went to the kitchen, told Eddie that we were filming, and then she disappeared. That's how that other girl came out and told us that we had to leave. And throughout that whole rest of that interaction, you ain't see Jody no more. No more. All right, so let's keep that in mind. All right. So I go ahead and I leave a very lengthy review on Google, and I'm telling them all about my experience, where I am. My server was Jody. My general manager was Eddie Walton at the Red Lobster location on Cleveland and Fort Myers, yada, 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 yada. So pretty much everything that I just told you guys. And not that I didn't think that I was going to get a response back, but I did. I did get a response back. I got a pretty timely response back from, it's listed as, it says Red Lobster and it says owner. So in that response from this is on Google. On Google, it's asking me, really pretty much apologizing. It's apologizing for my experience, and it gave me a reference number. Now, in that message, it's asking me to pretty much reiterate everything that I said on Google with the reference number on their Facebook Messenger. So they wanted me to leave them a message on Facebook with everything that I just said, location, all that good stuff. So I proceed to get my reference number, my location, and my story, and I go to their their Facebook Messenger, and I of course include my little clip, and I get a response back. So I get a response back same day. This is how on it they are. So this is now Monday. This was Monday at 11:40. I went to Facebook Messenger, left all the information, and then Monday at 1:41, I got another response from somebody from Red Lobster. So they're thanking me for my message. They're again apologizing for my experience, and could I also provide them with the following? So they're asking me for my email, my phone number, and a date and a time of approximate visit to the restaurant. I do that. I leave my email address, my phone number, date and time, and that was a Saturday. So that was Saturday, June 28th. All right, so they respond to me again, and they say, thank you. A guest relations representative will reach out to you within 24 to 48 hours. Please keep an eye out on your inbox and your spam folder during this time frame, as emails sometimes automatically sent there due to personal security settings. Fine. Again, that was Monday. Didn't think too hard on it, and I felt like this was correspondence, but I didn't think it was gonna go another step. So again, that was Monday, and Monday was, I think, the 31st. All right. So Monday rolls around, and now I don't hear anything Monday, and now we come Tuesday. Tuesday comes, again, normal day. I'm not the type to answer any phone calls if I don't know the phone number, if I don't know, if it's not saved in my phone. Naturally, I send everybody to voicemail. If it's important, you'll leave a message, I'll call you back, whatever. And I received a phone call from an unknown number that I don't know, that's not saved in my phone. So I sent it to voicemail. Doesn't leave a voicemail, so hey, it's not important. I'm not even worried about it anymore. Within a minute or so, I received a text message. And that was now Tuesday at 10:08 a.m. And the text message reads like this. Hello, Yoki. This is Damola, CEO Red Lobster. Apologies for your experience. Can you give me a call? Thanks. Now, for the CEO of a corporation to take their time out to reach out to somebody who has had a unfortunate experience in whatever it is, their restaurant, establishment, whatever it is, I think is big. Thanks. So I go back and I look, and it's the same number that had just tried to call me. So the same number, the person who I sent to voicemail was the CEO, Mr. Damola of Red Lobster. Okay. So pick up my phone and I call back and hello, Yoki. I mean, it was literally like if we had known each other. He called my name as soon as the phone rang. He was like, Yoki, how are you? This is Damola from Red Lobster, whatever, such and such and such. And I was like, Damola, thank you for, giving me a call, blah, blah, blah. So we're talking about the experience. For one, he was very apologetic. He also informed me and pretty much told me that in this day and age, social media is everything, and we welcome filming. He stressed to me, he says he does not know why this interaction happened this way. Again, I am sorry. I would like to apologize to you. Please allow us to make this right. The CEO of Red Lobster. Again, he could have been doing anything, but he watched my video, as he told me in the conversation. I watched your video this morning, and I am very displeased with what I saw. Simple. He said, I saw you in my establishment. Nobody else was, the way that you were filming, nobody else was seen. Only people were heard. There was no other parties compromised. Nothing was compromised. Nobody was compromised. Everything was as clean as it could have gotten. He recognized that and apologized again. I was quite accepting to his apologies. I did say, I do, it is an unfortunate situation. And at that time, by the time he saw the video that morning, the video was already over 100,000 views. And it was, y'all was hitting it. And again, y'all were like, well, what's going on? Damola, just the fact that he took the time out of his morning after watching that video to give me a call, that, meant a lot. So he told me, look, stand by your phone. Somebody's going to be calling you shortly. And again, I apologize on my behalf. Yes, our conversation went on. We kind of got off track. That's when I said it almost felt like we were friends, because we were talking about all type of stuff after, you know what I'm saying? He recognized and informed me that filming is okay. Filming is welcomed in Red Lobster. So for the ones who felt like it was needed to be said, well, you should have asked first, or you should have felt this, or you shouldn't have did, you should have. Filming is welcome. So, point blank period. There's nothing else that needs to be said as besides filming is welcome. Okay? So, Mr. Damola, we wrap it up, whatever. Hey, all right. Thank you for giving me a call. He was like, I hope we can make this up to you. And we move on. We hang up. Again, minding my business. Now, this is, let me see, what day was this? Tuesday. Yeah, we're still on the 1st. Some time goes by. That was that morning. And probably later on that afternoon, I would say about 4-ish maybe, I receive, now I'm expecting a phone call. And I receive a call from some crazy number. And I said, you know what, let me just answer this because this might be somebody that is wanting to speak to me. So I answer the phone. And Mr. David is on the other line. Now, who is David? David is the Senior Vice President of Operations at Red Lobster. David was super apologetic as well. David said to me that when he was watching my video, he was so happy to hear the intro of that video. So when I say the intro of that video, when I said I had lost faith in Red Lobster many years ago, he said that he felt like this was our second chance. So he said, Yoki, for me to have heard you say what you said in the beginning of your video, and for that store to drop the ball the way that they did, was totally unacceptable. He said, you are exactly the customer that we are fighting to try to win back. And for you to experience what you did is totally unacceptable. I can't tell you how many times Mr. David said totally unacceptable. Again, he was very apologetic. He expressed to me that filming is welcome. He expressed to me that in this day and time, social media is everything. And they understand what social media can bring. He says, yes, it can bring heat, but at the same time, it's brought to light. So how can we fix this? What can we do to make it better? You understand what I'm saying? And again, he talked about the flavors and the seasonings, and yeah, they're working on something a little bit spicier for the people who like spice. And so it's something that they've acknowledged and they've accepted the criticism to better the situation. So hearing him tell me that this is not going to be an overnight change, not as far as the filming policy goes, because that was something else that we talked about as well, but just them gaining their customers back. He did inform me that every store will be notified and versed on their filming policy. It was talked about and it will be taken care of. We also talked about Mr. Eddie Holton. Mr. Eddie Holton did not lose his job. He will be undergoing some extra training. So his district manager or a regional manager, whoever it is that's in charge of that area, will be working with him side by side in the store to assure that these type of unfortunate situations don't happen again. Jody, I don't know what happened to Jody, but I'm sure she's still there. Like I said, she had a great attitude. I just don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to Jody, but anyway. Let me just elaborate just a little bit as to after our conversation was over with, he sent me an email, and this is what the email reads. It reads, Ms. Sturrup, thank you again for your time on the phone today discussing your unfortunate experience at our Fort Myers location. It was a pleasure speaking with you, and I look forward to hosting you at a Red Lobster of your choosing when you are ready to visit again. I will make all necessary arrangements to assure your experience is exceptional and memorable. Thank you so much for coming back to see us again and giving us the opportunity to win your trust back. It truly does mean a lot. Now, that last statement that he makes, thank you so much for coming back to see us again and giving us an opportunity to win your trust back. It truly meant a lot. That is going back to what I said in the beginning of my video. When I said I had lost faith in Red Lobster many, many years ago, and I was not expecting too much out of that particular visit for the crab boil. I am at your service. Warm regards, David, Senior Vice President Operations, Red Lobster. So, again, I am very fulfilled with the way that Red Lobster has, management team, the upper management team at Red Lobster has handled this situation, from the CEO to the senior vice president of operations. Like I said, I'm full. My heart is full because I am sure, regardless of who you are or where you were, that, okay, if you didn't hear something from the CEO of Red Lobster, I am positive that somebody would have reached out to you if you had an issue. I am almost confident that that would have happened. For everybody who felt like I was just this whole entitled human being that marched up in there and decided to do whatever the hell it was that I felt like I wanted to do, negative. I would have not have done it if it was not allowed. And again, being somebody in the social media space, an influencer, and somebody who does these type of reviews, you're pretty much damned if you do, damned if you don't. Unfortunately, I've had situations to where they felt like I asked or I told them that I was coming to film, and I did not, because they saw one more piece of chicken on my plate. Oh, when I went there, they knew you was coming. No, and that's not how it is. I try to be as transparent and fully 100% honest with everything that it is that I do when it comes to my reviews, anything on my channel. And again, it's just a little difficult for us at times, but that's not here nor there. I am going to continue to bring y'all some banging food reviews. I'm going to continue to bring y'all the content that it is that you like. And Red Lobster, I accept your apology. I accept your apology. Yo, gang, so listen, if you have not watched that video, make sure you go back and check out how it is that we got here. And this is pretty much letting you know how they made it right. Mucho besitos. Y'all stay tuned for the next one. And y'all know I love y'all for life. Besito.